Welcome to the MarcWes Sports Podcast.
Bullshit. It is what it is. At the end of the day, man, the Miami Heat's going to go ahead and whoop that ass, beat that ass, spank that ass, and they're going to be on to the conference finals, same like the Florida Panthers. Now, question is who you would want to play. Would you want to play Boston or would you want to play Philly?
Man, it's tough, man. I mean, I've actually been watching the playoffs. Remember before these playoffs, I was like, man, I hate the NBA. I don't even watch it. But now that the playoffs have been starting and rolling, I was like, damn, I'm actually watching games that don't even involve the Heat. I've been watching the Golden State and the Lakers.
Well, what the hell wifey be at, boy? Shit, boy, she better than me, boy. Wifey like, boy, if it ain't the Heat, I ain't trying to, nah. This is time.
I just be watching it on my phone, low key, man. Like, I be watching it on my phone, low key. Have the sound real low. I be watching the time. You know what I'm saying? I be like, and then if once a moment happened, be like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom real quick. You know what I'm saying? Watch that key moment, come back. That's how I be sneaking shit in. Definitely. But yeah, I've been watching that. I seen the Nuggets and the Suns series for the first time last game. The Philly Celtics game, I didn't even see the last one, but I saw the game before that, the one that was on Sunday where the Sixers barely won.
Okay.
It's tough, man. It's tough to figure out which one I want to play. Right now, it feels like like in this moment, I feel like I want to play Boston because they haven't looked good. You know what I'm saying? They just don't. They look out of sync. Mm-hmm. Them losing their coach, I think, is a real problem. I think this new coach is not really that guy. I think the old coach was really that guy, elevating them to a new level. But
they don't share the ball like that no more.
Yeah, they don't share the ball. They do a bunch of ISO ball. They trying to make people heroes. And there's no heroes on that team. There's no heroes on that team. Actually, the only hero for real is Marcus Smart, and he's just not that good. He's just not as he's just not as good as a Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum. So it seemed like they would be the team that Miami would have an easier time with. It's just historically against the Sixers, we just usually match up well against them.
We must them gut them.
I don't believe in James Harden. You know what I'm saying? I just don't believe in him. Mm-hmm. And then Joel Embiid, he has his games and he deserves to be the MVP just because of just the amount of things that he can do on the basketball court.
That's his championship, man. That's their championship.
Right. And I think if they make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, it feels like that's their championship because they never made it with Embiid. So the player that scares me is going to be, it's really funny because you probably wouldn't name him, is Maxey for some reason. That the dude Maxey,
man, he's athletic.
Yeah, he's the guy where I'm just like, we don't really have a guy that matches up with him. Like who would match up with him? Gabe Vincent? No. Strus doesn't match up with him, not with his quickness. And the only person that would match up is Jimmy, I guess, but Jimmy's going to be likely guarding James Harden. So that's the guy that really kind of scares me. I think as a group, we'll be able to shut down Embiid, with the team defense. I think you just be able to wear a guy like that out and just force him to take outside shots, which he's good at doing, but not great. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. It's a coin flip for me, but right now I would say Boston.
Not me. I don't want to play Boston. I'm tired of dealing with Boston. And not just that, like you said, we always have Philadelphia's number. Especially, and they got who as a head coach? Doc, garbage ass. We've been saying for the longest his ass is overrated, man. He's overrated. The only reason why he looked good this year is because Ime Udoka is not the head coach of Boston right now, and they're not sharing the ball. Their defense is not on point like that. No, I'm sorry. They chose. I ain't gonna knock the head coach, but it seemed like the coach that we had with the Florida Panthers last year when Coach Q had to get let go because of whatever happened at his previous team. He had his predecessor that he came in with, but can he coach like Coach Q? No. Same thing like Boston. It's not his fault that Dom want to smash Ime. You feel me? It's not his fault. It was consensual. But y'all chose the female at that time rather than choosing the team. And the team was the head coach. The team was the head coach. You chose her what they call her pride, her
dignity.
Her dignity compared to, and I don't even know why would you think that, because it ain't like she got raped. It's not like, it was some funny business. I mean, she just cheated. They both cheated. It was consensual. But regardless, instead of just handling that internally, both them being on the team, and y'all continuing on that upward track that since he was the head coach, they were Gucci, because like since Paul Pierce and them boys left, man, that organization been garbage. Same thing like the Lakers. Before LeBron came, that organization was garbage. After Kobe left, y'all was trash. Nobody's talking about y'all. You chose to leave, get rid of that head coach that didn't land on his feet. He's in Houston right now. Rebuilding team, perfect, no problem. Got the state tax, all good. Don't have to deal with y'all racist people in Boston, because everybody know people in Boston
racist
are
people
racist.
in Houston too, though. That's some racist.
It's worse in Boston. It's worse than Boston for me. You know what I'm saying? I know. You saying that? Yeah. Think about it too. I'm thinking about Martin Luther King. I'm thinking about JFK. I'm thinking about all type of different shit. Yeah.
You remember the dude that they dragged from the pickup truck? That was in Texas.
Damn, I thought that was Cali.
Nah, that was in Texas, man.
Yeah. But I think it was a race war at that time, so I got to give those people a pass at that time, because I think at that time it was like really is like what's happening now. I mean, because when we were growing up, like in the 90s and the early 2000s, I think that was the perfect time in living in Miami or living in the United States. I didn't feel no racism. I just was like enjoying being a kid. And we weren't those kids that was like closed off to the world. I mean, I knew what was going on in the world. I traveled, this, that, and other. I watched the news. Always been heavy in news and stuff. And it was a better time. Now, at that time when that happened, I think it was more so like racism was at all-time high, like right now. I don't know. I may be wrong. People are wrong sometimes.
There's a couple of things I would bring up is that... Remember, we used to have, I'm not going to say the word, but White Person Day. Remember that? That's as racist as it gets.
Yeah, that's true.
And I remember, there was a lot of scrutiny around Haitians too. Like Haitians growing up, it was almost like you was afraid to say that you were Haitian, like in the 90s, because of all the stuff that was going on. But then Zopound happened, and now we feeling ourselves, you know?
What I mean? but yeah, going back to them not looking themselves, you lost your head coach, gave the examples about Florida Panthers, same situation. But yeah, man, I want to actually play Philly. Why? Because what would be best to beat the MVP? Beat the MVP on your way to the finals and either beat LeBron or either beat Steph Curry, because that's going to be the two people that's in the finals. Be real with you. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Denver looking good, man.
From Denver looking good?
Them, yeah,
okay.
They looking good. I think they're going to beat Phoenix.
Yeah, they're going to beat Phoenix, but look at it. When Phoenix had played Milwaukee, lowest rating finals. You think they want that shit again? They do not want that again. They need another big team. And, of course, that's where you got LeBron, you got Steph Curry, and, of course, you got anybody from the East. I mean, it would be Boston, but then you got Miami. I think Miami got a bigger market television-wise. I'm not sure. I don't know, because, Boston is right by New York and Jersey and all them places, so I don't know how the market is when it comes to
Miami's a middle market. They're not as big as Philly or Boston or LA, but they're on the same level as Golden State. Golden State is also like a middle market. Phoenix is kind of like a middle to low market. Milwaukee also the same. That's why it didn't do good. You had two middle to low markets playing in the finals. But yeah, either team would be fun to play. I'm not gonna lie. just because it'll be great to just beat a team in those two buildings, because especially for Philly think they made it, and they're going to realize that Miami's got experience. Although we got players like Gabe Vincent, we got players like Max Strus, who hasn't been drafted, Caleb Martin, these virtual no-name players.
Yo, can I tell you? Can I tell you who I'd rather play against?
Yeah.
I'd rather play against Philly, because like y'all was saying, I don't know, man. Boston always gives us a fucking hard matchup. They always there's always something up with Boston, and I think Wes was saying, I feel like we got Philly's number. So just to put in my 2 cents, that's why I would rather play. I would rather play Philly.
Yeah, well, before I was interrupted, I don't know what happened. I got kicked out, but I'm back now. But yeah, man, like what Chris was saying, we got their number. I remember last year, everybody was giving Doc Rivers the business, saying he's a garbage coach, especially us. I've been saying Doc is garbage. He kind of was cobbling the coattail of KG, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen with Rondo, because everywhere else he's been trash. He's been in the Clippers, trash. You had Chris Paul, trash. You go to Boston before, you always was in Boston. You only had Paul Pierce, and you was trash. You never went anywhere. You go to LA, trash again. And then now you're over here in Philly, and what, you thinking that you're going somewhere? You had stars everywhere you went, and you did nothing. Only time you did something was when you was with Boston. You had the big three, the first big three. Again, I don't know why you're mad at LeBron, because they the one that did it first. They're the originators, and everybody mad at LeBron. You feel me? Like you say, but yeah, man, I don't want to have to deal with Boston. I hate playing people that flop a lot, and Sir Flop a Lot is Marcus Smart. He's the head of the flopping gang. And then you have Tatum, and then you got the rest of the team, especially when it comes to them boys having our not having our number, but knowing us. When you play a team often, I mean, we've been playing them in the Eastern Conference Finals for the last few years, play them in the regular season, and it's always a close game. It's always something that you want to actually watch, something that's going to go to 6-7 games, not like the New York Knicks where we're like, we're going to beat them. This is something where I'm kind of like, nah, I ain't putting no money on this shit, because I don't know, I'm going to respect Boston, even though I don't like they bitch ass too. Y'all got rats just like New York. Boston is not far from New York, and they do travel. So yeah, regardless of the fact, I would actually want to go ahead and play Philly, because I think Boston got better players. I think the only reason why Philly's up right now is because the coach is he was not Boston's first choice. Of course, they had Ime Udoka, and when you have a coach that's been in the league all that time, even though Doc is trash, he's not a bottom feeder. But if you comparing him to people like Eric Spoelstra, Pat Riley, Phil Jackson, man, you're not even in that conversation, my boy. And the funny thing is, the crazy thing is, Eric Spoelstra is like number 4 for most wins in playoff history. I think Phil Jackson, then you got, I think, Pat Riley, and then you got who's in front of him? But one more person,
probably Popovich.
You got Popovich, and then you have him. I'm like,
I mean, it makes sense. And to be honest, he needs to be given more credit, because it's not like he just has, because with the NBA, for the most part, I think it's a players' league. You got the best players. You go into the finals, at least, what I'm saying, for the most part. But right. But with Spo, man, you can see the in-game adjustments. Even last night, he was like, damn, this thing's getting away from us. We gonna hack that dude who can't shoot free throws. You know what I'm saying? It was a key adjustment that you haven't even seen in all series. Yeah, all series is he finally pulls his card when he feels like, man, we got a chance to end them right now. You know what I'm saying? And they did work their way back to a 2-point margin. It's just they couldn't hit the threes in the end, man. Like Lowry took a couple of threes that missed. Duncan Robinson missed a couple of threes in the end that missed. And I just think this next game, though, man, is going to be a total 360. And I also think that Gabe Vincent is going to have a big game because he's been kind of quiet these past couple of games. And
they gave him 3 fouls the first quarter.
That's right. That's right. Bullshit fouls too, especially the last one. The last one was just.
What's going on?
So yeah, I just think it's going to be a dominating series for the Heat, and they're going to move on to the next round. Now, this next round, whoever they play, I think it's going to be a tough series. I think it's going to go. I think it's not going to be as easy as this one. Even though we're being pushed to 6 games with the Knicks right now, it still feels like an easy series. You know, I don't know why it feels that way, but it does. You know, it's like every game hasn't been like, even the game we lost, I feel like we should have won. You know, that I think that's probably the reason why. But I think this next series, I think it's going to be close games. They're going to probably be some blowouts too. But I think it's just going to be an overall tougher series that's going to go to 6 or 7 games. But it like let's dream for a little bit, Wes. Let's just dream and just dream that boom, we beat Boston or Philly, whoever it is, and then we go to the finals and we beat hopefully the Lakers. That's the one I would love to beat. You know what I'm saying? Steph, you know how I feel about Steph. I stick with my light-skinned brother. You know what I'm saying? I always wish him the most success. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Steph Curry fan. I wouldn't want to beat Steph Curry or anybody else. I'm a fan of Draymond Green too, and Clay. I'm just a fan of those 3 guys overall. So I wouldn't want them. I want to beat the Lakers, but if it ends up being Denver, so be it. But what if we go ahead and just beat that team? What in the Western Conference Finals, and we champions? And then, by the way, the Florida Panthers, they're the third right now. They're the third. They got the 3rd best odds to win the Stanley Cup, which is crazy right now. It's crazy to even think because this was an 8 seed. You know, we both 8 seeds, both barely backed into the playoffs. Remember the couple of podcasts ago, like, we took the back door into the playoffs, and now we about to run the whole party. So it would just be a crazy championship if they're able to do it. And for me, it would probably be, besides the first Heat championship, which is, you know, it's the first one. It's always like, it's like having sex for the first time. It's always going to be, it's not going to be the best. It's not, it doesn't mean the most to you, but it's probably the most special. It you know, it has its own special place in your heart. And that first championship has a special place in my heart. This one would be, I think it would top the last 2 for me.
Yeah, definitely would top the last 2 because Jimmy is doing it himself. And now I'm, you know, not throwing shots at the rest of the Miami Heat because, I mean, it's a team sport. You know that we just be speaking longest like our
freezing up again, Wes.
I ain't gonna knock them like that, but when it ultimately comes down to it, for I think I'll respect it a little bit more because again, first championship you had Shane Battier, you had a few people that was holding down Hall of Famers, all of them that was playing with the Miami Heat in that year, Hall of Famers right now, championship individuals, but Wade had everybody. Wade, I mean, yeah, this maybe was your second year, probably your 3rd year, but you had Shaq. Come on, man. You had Zoe was the backup. Like, come on, man. Like, who?
Yeah,
if you don't know anything, man, huh?
You had UD in his prime. You had Gary
UD
Payton.
in his prime. You had Tippy Toe with Antoine Walker. You feel me?
Yeah, Gary Payton.
The glove.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, this is what we had. So, of course, we should have won that championship. Whereas if you look at this team, I mean, we basically like shouldn't even must be in the playoffs. Nobody's counting us. They still not counting on the Miami Heat to win anything. You know, I mean, Jimmy Bucket scored 56 points and he got 3 minutes on ESPN. Everybody else talking about LeBron and Steph Curry. And yeah, I mean, they're former champions, defending champions, and you know, one of the greatest players of all time. But damn, how many people score 56 points and y'all give us 3 minutes? Like Marcus, like what you said, Joy the only one that's defending us. Joy the only one that's speaking really about the Miami Heat. They speak on the Miami Heat on the ESPN because they have to. You know, they have to. So let's just give them like 1 or 2 minutes and keep it moving. But our bread and butter is LeBron, Steph, and all these other motherfuckers. But regardless of the fact, I would think that if Jimmy Buckets win a championship, I would have to put that as number one, man, or 1B.
You know, I was tempted to say it because when I started saying it, I was like, damn, would it be the best championship for the Heat? I don't know. Because it's Jimmy. Jimmy's such a likable guy. Wade was during that time. He was a very likable guy.
Not no more.
But then, you know, the Big Three era was more like, if we don't win a championship, then it was more like we were supposed to win. You know, it was more like we were supposed to win that first championship, and nobody was expecting the Miami Heat to win the championship in 2006. Nobody was expecting that. Mm-hmm. And this is kind of the same way. Nobody's expecting an AC, and this would be the first time an AC in the NBA would win a championship. You know what I'm saying? It's happened before in hockey, I think maybe twice, but this would be the first time that an AC would win. So you would have that too. You know, you would always have that, like, hey, and we would always have that, like, for the future. Anytime that we got in at an 8 seed, we'd be like, oh, remember that year that Jimmy won as an 8 seed? You know, so yeah, man, like, we could be witnessing like some historical stuff right here.
Yeah, I already know what's gonna happen. We're gonna speak this into existence, but again, like I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I remember when Shaq came over here and he was in front of the stadium and he was like, I'm gonna bring y'all a championship.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then he brought us a championship. And I remember this season, before the season even started, Jimmy Buckets, he was like, the Miami Heat is winning the championship this year. And everybody was saying he's crazy. It's sounding like what he's saying is going to happen. And I will cue that motherfucker up for everybody that hate us because of the beaches, the women, and the weather. Now you hate us for another ring. You know what I'm saying? And I would think that, you know, it's one of the best championships because when Shaq came, they didn't hate the Miami Heat then. You know what I'm saying? Like, people love Shaq. Everybody love, you know, we got all these former stars, you know, that came from other cities. You know, I mean, why hate that individual? So if you came from Boston, Antoine Walker, there was people from Boston rooting for you to win the championship. You know, Gary Payton, those people from Seattle Supersonics. You feel me? You never got a championship. You still got your fans. Oh, I want him to win just because my team's not in it. You know, I don't like the other team because I just don't like the other team. But I have some type of ties to this player as a fan, and some fans from other states probably was not hating but loving the Miami Heat during that role. And again, when it comes to LeBron, Bosh, and Wade, look, man, you got the greatest. Well, I don't know, one of the greatest players of all time. You got Chris Bosh, Hall of Famer. Only reason people love Wade, people loved Bosh when he was in Toronto. The only reason they hate LeBron because he came here, but still, regardless, Jimmy was doing it with nothing. And look,
and that's part of the reason why this team is so dangerous too, because you basically have no other second option to defend. Like usually you're like, okay, we're gonna shut down, these two players or these three players, and you can't really do that. You can try to shut down Jimmy, but Jimmy's gonna pass it out. He's always gonna make the right basketball play. And even when Jimmy is going to make a play, you can't stop him for some reason. He's just really savvy with the basketball and knows how to get to the hoop, knows how to draw fouls. He takes shots when they're there, and he's got a pretty good mid-range. He got a pretty good mid-range shot. And at times he has a good 3-point shot. So the thing about Jimmy is like his game is so versatile. You don't really know what he's going to do. And then he gives you 110% on defensive end as well. He's going to get you at least one steal a game. You know what I'm saying? And he's going to be in there trying to rebound. So he gives you so much. And then the other players, you don't know. Like, I don't know who's going to be the second highest scorer tomorrow. I don't know, because that's how unpredictable this team is, and that's why this team is hard to stop, and that's why they have a chance to legitimately win the championship.
And
because of Spo too, man. Spo figures shit out.
Not just that, but you're not just facing Spo. You're still facing Pat Riley. You don't think like you don't think someone that groomed Spo is like in Spo ear, them watching tape together? Like, come on, man. To this day, they still say Coach Riley. The players on the Miami Heat, again, they got he have an open door policy. You know what I'm saying? So I would assume, like he's mentoring. He's doing the same thing Jason Taylor was doing before he became a coach on the University of Miami. He would give pointers, people act ideas. Oh, all right, you need to adjust doing it this way. I'm not coaching you really, but you doing it. It's just your form is wrong, or this, that, and the other, or put things out there. I think that they're using my all Miami have to give. That's Pat Riley. That's Eric Spoelstra. That's UD. That's what they call it. Alonzo Mourning. When it comes to tenacity, when it comes to wanting to fight, and with Bam Adebayo and being in certain position and stuff like that. So look, man, I think. Well, I know tomorrow's going to be a victory. Again, I'm going to collect my money from.
I'll be collecting my money too. Need that money right now.
Yeah, boy, definitely gonna take that nigga money, man. But he was really depressed, kid. I ain't gonna lie to you, boy. I think he lost from me and like a few other people, so I think he at least he lost. He had to lose over a stack, because he be betting with like the apps, people, and bookies. So doesn't matter. His money is my money, and like I say, wifey's gonna deserve a deserved gift for Mother's Day, thanks to Gene Guru June. You feel me? But yeah, man. Enough about the Heat right now, because we know we're gonna win. I want to talk about the Canes. I haven't been following them too much right now. I've been seeing a whole lot of people been visiting. I've been seeing a whole lot of I think we got a corner from Oklahoma, from OU or something like that. I've seen a few different things, but I haven't really like sat there to really see who's coming in, who's transferring out, or anything like that. I know when I'm coming to you, you're gonna give me the scoop. And if y'all want the scoop, y'all can go ahead and follow him, Marcus Benjamin, on CanesCounty.com. Y'all also can follow us, the MarcWes Sports Podcast. We're on every platform, both sites. And yeah, man, what's up? Tell me, because I'm in the dark right now,